you doing today? Wonderful. Welcome to CalmingEscape, Vacation, and Tours. How can I help you today? Alright. Of course. I would be happy to help you. We can take care of all of your vacation, tour, getaway needs, exactly. Alright. Will it just be you traveling, or are you traveling with a group? Okay. Wonderful. Well, our first step is to create a file for you. And then we can get you exploring the galaxy. Wonderful. So, to start, if I can just get your name. And what about your birth period? Right. And your home planet, planet of origin. Okay. Enough. Now, what type of trip are you looking for? Well, we offer a variety of packages to all sorts of planets all over the galaxy. Do you have any planets in mind? Okay. What about terrain? Anything specific you're looking for? Okay. That's okay if you're not sure. I'm here to make this as comfortable and easy for you as possible. Okay. Well, we can. If you have time, I don't mind going over our different tours, you could say. Well, we do have a list of every planet in the galaxy that we work with that you can go on any sort of trip or getaway through CalmingEscape. There are quite a few on the list, but I don't mind going over them with you if you like. I can give you a little bit of details on the planets. Sometimes that helps people to narrow down exactly where in the galaxy they would like to travel. Alright. That sounds wonderful. Let me just go ahead and pull those up. Alright. Usually, I prefer to go down the list through galaxy region. Is that alright with you? Okay. Usually I feel that works best for people. Alright. Well, if you don't have any questions, I'll just go ahead and dive right in. And please, at any point, if you do have any questions, please feel free to ask. Stop me at any point. And just be sure to let me know if anything stands out to you. I'll make note of it so that at the end we can figure out which planet you would like to visit. Wonderful. Alright. Alright, so let's see. Alright. So if you don't mind, I'd like to start with the core worlds. Alright. Let me just bring up the screen. Here we are. First planet that I'd like to discuss with you is Corellia. Okay. So as I said, it is a core world. It is part of the Corellia sector. And the inhabitants are mostly Besselek and humans. Inhabitants matter to some people. I do like to mention it. Of course, some different dialects and whatnot can be important to people. Alright. The environment of Corellia is mostly forests, jungles, with urban. Of course, it is mostly known for its spaceships, shipyards. I'm sure you know that most of our starships are built on Corellia. Yes, it does have its beautiful perks. Alright. And we're just moving on. Let's go to Coruscant. And as I said, core world, all of these here in this group are going to be part of the core worlds. It is part of the Coruscant subsector. Inhabitants, I'm afraid, are many types there. There's just too many to name. Alright. And the environment is the Econopolis. The city covers the entire planet. So, do you like the city life? Okay. Some people can take it in small doses. Coruscant can be a little overbearing for some people. I'm sure you know that it did serve as the capital for quite some time. The Old Republic for the Galactic Republic and the Galactic Empire. Okay. Why don't we go to Chandrila? It's part of the Bormia sector. So its inhabitants are humans and Pantorans. So Chandrila did become the capital of the New Republic. I'm sure you know. Some people like to know that. After the Battle of Endor. Yes. But as you know, the capital does switch with election. It rotates. So. There's still a heavy government presence there, though. Just something that some people like to know for their trips. What do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking? Okay. Understandable. So maybe some of the government planets aren't for you. Okay. Just keep going down the list, and as I said, just be sure to let me know if anything jumps out at you. Alright. So unfortunately, we do still have Alderaan on this list, and as you know, you can't exactly visit Alderaan these days for quite some time, but I do have information for the Alderaanian, the memorial site. Is that something that you're interested in? Alright, just make note of that. Some people do like to visit memorials of things like that, but for other people it's just not some place that they would like to visit for a getaway. Okay. So those were the core worlds that I wanted to focus on for you. We're going to move into Mid-Rim now. The Mid-Rim region. I'd like to start with one of my personal favorites of Naboo. Have you ever been? It's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. It's in the Comel sector. Its inhabitants are elders, Gungans, and humans. Just depending on which part of the planet you visit. Alright. So it is a vast majority for the environment. We do have the swamps, the hills, the plains, cities as well. Theed is one of the more popular cities. It is just a gorgeous planet, though. As I said, it's one of my personal favorites. Alright, so next up we have Horde Mandel. As I said, it's in the Mid-Rim region, and it is part of the Bright Jewel sector. Alright. So its inhabitants are the Phalines and the humans. And you'll find that it's mostly mountain chains. The popular attractions, I'd probably say, is Horde Mandel City. Yes, I do feel the need to tell you that in the past it's been quite popular for a bounty hunter location. I do believe the area has cleaned up a little bit over the years, but I would just prefer to be honest and divulge any sort of information that I think a traveler like yourself may be interested in knowing. Alright. Alright, so moving on to Kashyyyk. Mid-Rim as well. It's in the Mantarrier sector. And inhabitants are mostly Wookiees. So if you only speak basic... Yes. Some Wookiees do speak basic, but I think you'll find the majority. Right. So of course it is mostly forests. Tree-covered planet. Right. Alright. It is a beautiful planet to visit. It was blockaded for so many years during the rule of the Empire. But thankfully the planet was liberated. Alright. So now we're moving to the Outer Rim planets. Okay? Alright, a little bit further out. You comfortable with that? So I'd like to start with Dantooine. It's in the Arcanus sector. The inhabitants on this planet are quite a few. Humans, Bith, Hutts, Jawas, Necto, Tusken Raiders, just to name a few off the top of my head, but it's really a mixed bunch, you could say. And it is a desert planet. Are you interested in desert planets? Maybe? Alright. So Dantooine does orbit two suns. It makes the climate rather scorching. Alright. the landscape is covered by sand dunes, as I said, and some mountains and canyons, but the majority is going to be the desert. Are you a fan of sand? Some people don't mind sand if there's a ocean to accompany it, but you won't find an ocean on Dantooine. Okay. Alright. Moving on to Dakar. It's in the Ilenium system. Alright. Inhabitants are mostly unknown. It's not a very built up planet, you could say. It is gorgeous though. It is thick forest, rather large lakes as well. Different bodies of water. Yes, if you're interested in more of the lush jungle, that would be a good planet for you. As I said, it does not have much built up, really, so I would probably recommend whatever transportation you are taking. Are you going to be flying yourself? Are you a charter ship? What is your preference? We have different packages if you like. Okay. So whether you choose a charter ship or if you fly yourself, it's rather likely that I would recommend sleeping on the ship. With just the majority of the jungle being unknown, we don't exactly know what type of species live in the jungle and whether or not they like humans. Alright. Okay. I do like to include Bespin on this list for Outer Rim as well. It's in the Anode system. Alright. It does have humans, but a mix of other species as well. Now, it is a gas giant, so the planet itself, being a gas giant, isn't exactly visitable. I would recommend visiting Cloud City. Yes, if you're wanting to visit Bespin, Cloud City is going to be your best bet. Yes, it's one of the mining complexes. And it quite literally is a cloud city. It floats in the clouds above the gas planet. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Moving right along to Dagobah, also in the Outer Rim. It's part of the sluice sector. Right. Again, this planet, the species is unknown. It is mostly swamps and wetlands, and I'm not entirely sure if it's the best place for a vacation, but of course we are open to all of your personal preferences if Dagobah happens to be a place that you would like to visit. Okay. It does experience quite violent lightning storms, you could say, some fog, alright, as well as a lot of rainfall. Just make note. It is, however, rumored to be a great planet within the Force, if you believe in that sort of thing. Alright, so next up is another planet in the Outer Rim. It is another more extreme planet. Yes, it is also in the Anode sector. It's Hoth. Have you heard of that? Yes, it is a frigid, icy planet. So definitely going to want to bundle up if you're wanting to visit Hoth. Yes, alright. It doesn't exactly inhabit intelligent life, There are, if I recall, there are 15 species. Yes. Right. I believe one is a large lizard-like creature called a tauntaun. And another one off the top of my head would be a wampa, but I'm not exactly sure the other species. As I said, it is not the best living conditions. Okay. Right. Moving right along. Sticking with the outer rim, once more, we do have Dantooine. Heavens are humans, but okay. Don't want to visit Dantooine. Sure. I'll just go ahead and take that off the list for us. Wonderful. Alright. So then we're going to move on to Geonosis. Okay. Alright. It is part of the Arcanist system. Okay. Inhabitants, let's see for you. Accolade, Geonosians, Massoff, Nexiu, Reek. Not everyone would feel comfortable on a planet of that sort. It is desert and mountains. It's quite different to Tatooine desert, though. The variety is much different, but the surface is mostly covered in harsh, rocky deserts instead of just the sand. The rock in the sky itself is tinted red, so the planet itself can be a little harsh on the eyes with the red tint, and the water is also hard to come by, so that is definitely something that you would need to bring along. This planet is orbited by 15 moons. 15. Alright, so we do include Endor in this, but we would like to add the forest moon of Endor to the list, not Endor itself. Okay, so also in the outer rim, it is in the model sector. Wonderful. Alright. So we do have Dualok, Ewoks, Yuzum, and Gorax. Forest moon of Endor. So, as the title hints, it is mostly forests. Beautiful forests, but that is the majority of that moon. Okay. Let's see. So, dense woodlands, tall mountains. It is a breathable atmosphere. If I recall, I believe it is 8% surface water. As I said, it is mostly forest. I personally love forests, but everyone has their own personal preference. Okay, moving right along, we're going to go to Yavin 4. So outer rim as well, Gordian Reach. So we've moved to a little bit different location. So this the population is an immigrated human species. Okay, and it is mostly, I would call it jungle. Alright, jungle covered fourth moon in orbit of a red giant Yavin. So that's another one where you're not going to actually be on Yavin. We would recommend Yavin 4. Hopefully I'm making sense for you. And don't worry, I can go over any of this information again with you. I am throwing a lot of info your way. And of course, nothing has to be decided today. You can go home and think about what planet you would like to visit. Debate what kind of trip you would like to go on. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the Outer Rim territory. So that would be Mustafar. It is quite hot. So it is in the Travis sector, and for inhabitants it's mostly just the Mustafarians. Not a huge human base. It is a volcanic planet. The climate is rather searing. Alright. Well, meaning that not only are there volcanoes, but there are lava rivers, lots of rock that's very difficult to walk on because of the heat. Yes, and of course, being a lava planet, its biggest import is, of course, water. Yes. There are some planets on this list that I would recommend you bring your own water, just in case. We know how this galaxy can be sometimes. Just in case, I would bring some extra supplies, in case you had to stay a little longer. Alright. So now I would like to move to beyond Rishimai's. Okay, so that's gonna be Kamino. Part of the Umbrancian sector. Yeah, not too many people have heard of it. It's pretty much only Kaminoans. Yes, it's aquatic. Entire water. Yes, the water covers 100% of the planet. So if you like swimming... Okay. Alright. As I said, not too many people know about Kamino. Kaminoans tend to be a more mysterious species, you could say. They are known quite well for their cloning technology, though. Yes, I do reference the Clone Wars then. Okay. So moving right along. Now this planet is in the western reaches, so it is a little farther out there. So this is Jakku. Okay. And also the species on this planet vary. There are humans, but we have quite a bit of other ones. It's quite a mix, you could say. There are Tito, Mulito, Quaizo, Huts, Corlote. I mean, the list truly goes on. It's a very big mix of species, types of people. Okay. Alright, so it is also desert, so this would be another place where I would definitely recommend bringing water. Yes, so as I said, it is in the western reaches, so it is a little bit of an isolated desert planet, although like Dantooine is still a desert planet. It's a little bit closer to the rest of the inner core. Alright, so in the past it has hosted the wheel races, and it is known for creating the alcoholic beverage knockback nectar. Have you heard of that? Might be a little bit before our time. Okay, and we've come to our final planet on our list of Takodana. Is also in the western reaches. It's in the Tator sector, and the inhabitants are somewhat unknown. There are many immigrants to this planet. Several different species. Too many to list. Yes. Some of them are human, so I'm sure that some of them do speak basic for you. So it is a temperate forest covered in lush forests, small lakes. Takodana is a popular departure point, you could say. It's an excellent point for trade routes. Yes, this meaning you would meet a lot of different people because it is a great way to connect to the inner and outer rim. It's a great stopping point. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so let me just... Alright. That wasn't too hard, was it? Oh, and let me just... Here we go. Bring that screen down. Alright. So, out of all of those planets that we've gone over, did anything stick out? That's a good choice. Alright. Let me see. It would be wonderful this time of year. Alright. Let me just... No, I think that would be a wonderful choice for you. Now, how soon are you wanting to leave? So we do have a little bit of time. So what I would personally recommend is I'd like to find the best possible travel package for you. So if this is most definitely the planet that you would like to visit for your travels, so we will definitely lock you in to that planal trip, and I'll have you palm that just to make sure. But the rest of the details, you wanted to think on if you wanted to take a charter, if you wanted to fly yourself, of course. And while you are thinking over that, I can definitely look up different accommodations that we can offer to you, different stay, different parts of the planet. Of course. Different lifts to different areas of the planet as well, which is important. If you're going to go to a different planet, you definitely want to see as much of it as possible, not just the main city. At least that's how I personally feel. Okay. Alright. Okay. So I'm just gonna have you now, if you can palm the screen here. Wonderful. So that's just going to confirm your planet choice. And as I said, I have your file started here, and we have you locked in for everything. You have some time to decide on if you would like a charter ship. And I can contact you as soon as I come up with some package deals if you like. And of course, please contact me as soon as you decide about the charter or not, because that will affect the package that we choose for you. Alright. Perfect. Alright. Well, I think that's all for us today. Yes, I appreciate you coming in. I'm so glad I could help you. As soon as you make those final decisions, please feel free to call me. Alright. Have a wonderful day.